Welcome to this place called Earth and the project, Somatic Inversions, Behavioral Manipulations, and the Anatomy of Subtle Control. In this short micro-disgust cues, the tiny expressions that collapse your self-worth, we explore and expose the mechanisms that shape behavior beneath awareness. The expression you weren't meant to see manipulators rarely attack you directly. They don't need to. All they need is one micro-expression of disgust, a tightening of the nostrils, a slight upper lip curl, a sharp exhale, a narrowed eye, or a flicker of contempt. It lasts milliseconds, often between words, often pretending to be nothing. But your nervous system sees it. Your social rejection circuitry reacts faster than your conscious awareness can. And your self-worth collapses before you have time to ask why. This is the power of micro-disgust, a tiny cue that activates shame faster than any insult ever could. Why Your Body Notices What Your Brain Misses research by Paul Ekman, John Gottman, and Daka Keltner shows that humans detect micro-expressions in less than 1/25th of a second, even if we don't consciously register them. Disgust and contempt are the two most powerful relationship-destroying expressions because they trigger social exclusion panic, Eisenberger, UCLA, shame activation, Lewis, 1992, hierarchy threat responses, vagal withdrawal, collapse in posture, and a drop in self-worth. You don't think they must dislike me. You feel it in the gut, in the chest, in your breathing. Your nervous system reacts as if your belonging is at stake, because to your body it is. The partner who uses disgust to control you in romantic manipulation, disgust is a tool, and one of the most effective. Not screaming, not insults, just the smallest facial flicker. Survivors report. A nostril flare when you express emotion, a half smirk when you're vulnerable, a micro eye roll when you're confused, a lip curl when you speak your needs, and a sharp exhale when you disagree. You lose confidence instantly. You soften your tone, you choose different words. You abandon your point, you feel ashamed of yourself. This isn't insecurity. It's somatic conditioning. Your body learned, disappointing them feels like rejection. Rejection feels like a threat. Threat must be avoided. And you adjust your behavior accordingly. The family member who weaponizes disapproval. For many people, micro-disgust cues begin in childhood. A parent doesn't need to shout. They simply look you up and down, tighten their jaw, sigh dismissively, and raise an eyebrow or purse their lips, and the child collapses internally. Studies show that children respond to micro-disgust more intensely than overt anger because it signals withholding of love, it threatens belonging, it activates shame circuitry, and it triggers pre-verbal attachment wounds. As adults, these people become extremely sensitive to subtle rejection. Manipulators can sense that instantly, and they exploit it. In groups and workplaces, disgust is a status weapon. Micro-disgust is used to control social hierarchies. The boss who dismissively exhales at your idea, colleague who smirks when you speak, the friend who tilts their head with silent contempt, and the group member who gives the "you're embarrassing us" look. This taps into our evolutionary wiring. Anthropologists and neuroscientists, Fessler, Rosen, Sharif, show that disgust evolved to regulate group boundaries, mark out nonconformity, enforce power dynamics, and signal social contamination. Modern manipulators don't use it for hygiene. They use it for dominance. One disgust cue can silence an entire room. Governments and corporations use disgust cues to public messaging, frequently uses disgust subtly. Political ads showing undesirable groups with negative facial cues. Media segments pair images of opponents with disgust reactions. Corporate marketing that shames competitors, and social media filters amplify disapproval expressions. Your brain registers disgust faster than fear, which means disgust shapes public opinion before logic can intervene. This is manipulation via collective shame activation. Why micro-disgust destroys self-worth so quickly. Disgust is the behavioral equivalent of exile. It signals you don't belong, you're not acceptable, you are a threat to the group's identity, you're disappointing, you're failing, and your autonomic nervous system responds by collapsing, appeasing, shrinking, apologizing, silencing, and self-correcting. You mold yourself into the version of you least likely to provoke the micro-expression again. This is why manipulators love it. It's fast, it's invisible, and it works. The inversion we were taught. Don't take it personally. It's just a look. You're too sensitive. Ignore them. It's just your imagination. But the inversion is this. Micro-disgust is one of the most powerful social control mechanisms. Your body recognizes it because your survival once depended on detecting it. You're not imagining the impact. You're feeling an ancient biological alarm. So, to close this short, one flicker of disapproval can reshape behavior, not because you're weak, but because your nervous system evolved to treat disgust as danger. Understanding this gives you the power to stop collapsing under it.